Good morning and welcome out to another day of trading. Market seems to be just a little bit flat here this morning. It's found itself in a 10 pip corridor, but it kind of looks like on this 5-minute candle it's climbing out, and so I think what we're gonna do is just wait to see if this sets up, and I might sell and catch the backflow right here. In fact, I think we ought to do that. Let's trade. Let's jump in right here. We're gonna go 10 and 10. You don't make any money unless you're in the market. Boom. Okay, there we go. We are live. So it is a pretty flat market, but that puts us, our stop loss outside these two peaks right here, and our take profit, it's kind of below this. So we'll see which way it breaks out. Yeah, baby, trade number one is on its way. Take a look at this. We're like 7.5, almost 8 pips into the money. I kind of felt like maybe when we started there was going to be a little bit of a pullback, and here we are, 716.02. And this thing is starting to slip back off. We're 8 pips in the money. Come on, baby. Roll hard, get red. We're about to breach. We've got a new lower low. Sorry about that. I just get so excited. Get the frog in the throat. Here we go. 9 pips into the money. Oh, yes! Boom! Trade number one in the books, in the bag. I think we're onto something here. So the question is, do we hang on for a second, or do we turn around and go long and catch the next wave back? I think that's what we do. Don't you think? Should we? So if we... Alright, so if we buy, basically we're just swing trading right here. Throw that in. Boom. Okay, so we went short first. Now we're going long. Our take profit is up here in the same zone that we've twin towered. Our stop loss is way down here, which you could easily hit it. Like, we don't really know, but I have a feeling after a big sell-off like that, we're gonna catch a little bit of a turn. Maybe we can snag another grinder. Let's go. Alright guys, so no backlash yet. We went in long, jumped in, and this thing has continued to go hard red. I don't blame it. You know, it was like a hunch because we'd had so much back and forth up here that maybe it would roll back up. But that's fine. If it goes down here and snags this, I still think there's an opportunity to double down, go long again. Eventually this thing will probably backlash back up. Backlash isn't the right word. What would it be? It would be more like a back sell. Anyway, you get the point. It's got a lot of momentum one way, and then it kind of has like a little feedback. So even if it doesn't hit it this time, I think it's got a good chance of stopping out. We can re-enter down there and then catch it coming back up on a new bottom, on a new low. But as we sit here, it turned back around 4 or 5 pips and getting blue, so this could be our spinner that brings us back up. Either way, I like trading. This is fun stuff. All right, guys, it's opening market on the New York session, 7:30 my time. And here we go. Every time the market opens, there's a swing, there's a push. Ours happens to turn blue. Look at it climb and grind. We're almost back to the break-even point. Honestly, who knows where it'll go from here, but we are getting a turn on the bottom. We've had a couple little tug of wars right here. Buyers and sellers aren't really winning, and now the buyers are slightly in control. I think it's just a feedback. Really, if you look at this, I think this is just a corridor, and so I'm really just trading the bounces because there's no really good trend anywhere happening. There's plenty of weird news out there with Tesla and the wreck and uncertainty. The Bitcoin thing is going, or not Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Dogcoin, whatever you want to call it. That is getting a ton of activity. I think it was up like 50 cents this morning, and now it's back down to like 38. So tons of stuff all over. Either way, the currency market, that's where the game's at. We're grinding. We're now in the money. All right, this thing is continuing to go down. It had a little bit of a pullback, so we're starting to maybe establish a downward trend. You can see right here, it had a little bit of a pullback. Strong downturn again. We're 8 pips out of the money, should close out as a stop loss, and then we'll decide whether we're going to wait for a flow, drop back down, or pay the back flow. I don't know. It really seems undecided the way it keeps having these long tails, but we were close to being out of the money. Now we're kind of coming back around. This thing will not go out. What are you doing with your life, market? Go, stop out so we can turn around and get back in the market. That's so funny, huh? I don't even care if I win or lose. I just want out so I can get right back in. Here it goes. It's grinding up. Now we're only 5 pips out of the money. It can't decide what it wants to do, but we did get number 1 trade done, positive, and we're grinding away on number 2. All right, this thing finally snuck down, dropped out, closed out. We're done with that trade. So the question is, do we go long? Do we double down and go long? Is that a new low? Catch that back wave? 2190 would put us like up here about 2290. I think so. I think what we're gonna do is we are gonna double down to contracts 10 and 10. We're gonna go long and see if we can't get that backflow. See that? I'm feeling good about it. All right, this thing is finally starting to get a little bit blue at the bottom of this deal. Look at that, grinding up blue. We're like 4 pips into the money. This is on the double down trade. Really 4 or 5 pips to go to take that profit, clean that trade up, and then be able to reset, get back into the market, make a new trade. I really feel like I want this to go. Isn't that how every trade feels like? Come on, cheer it on, you can do it. All right, we're starting to grind. We're now 8 pips into the money. We need 2 more pips to close this guy out. It feels like it's got a pretty good momentum behind it. Here we go, half pip. Oh, pulled back a half a pip. I mean, we are literally knocking on that ceiling right there. And just needs to grind through. And that's often how it goes. It's gonna have these ups and downs, and then when it has a big down, you're gonna see kind of a big pullback, especially when you're trading really a flat market, which is what we've had really the last 2 trading days in a row. I mean, Friday was super channel, and this one, it seems like it's kind of setting up to be that way too. What would be disappointing is if we got a half a pip from this and it didn't close out. You gotta wonder, should I manually drop the trigger on that? I think what I might do is pull this stop up. I don't do this a lot, but we could pull the stop up to break even now that we're like a solid 10 in the money. And then maybe what it would do is avoid a second round of double down. I still think this is gonna hit out. Like 1 pip to go, let's go. But if you run those things too tight, then you really do run into the potential of, being stopped out too quick. So I do like to have that 20 pip breathing room, but I mean, all we need is like half pip here. Let's go. Come on, baby. Here we go. This is gonna be it. Oh, that was close. Did you see that? We hit the line. It's that it's a 1.1 pip. If you look right up here, your spread is 1.11. So we really have to get 1 pip past it, past the line for that to hit. Here we go. Here we go. How do we have 9.9? Let's go. I'm gonna close it. Yes. There we go. Pick up the money, move on. We picked up our $2, so we cleaned up our other trade. Sometimes I don't know why it has that little bit of a glitch right there. So I was a little bit like, why are you not there? Because you cleared 10 pips. But anyway, dropped the hammer on it, cleaned it out. So, you know, we're up our couple bucks today. We're up our 2 trades. So now the question is this thing gonna continue to climb? I got a feeling it's gonna sell back off. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to sell, and we're gonna put a 10 pip profit and a 10 pip stop and go. All right, so I think it's gonna back flush back down. That's my gut feeling. So we're back in on a sell position, and let's see where this thing goes. Aren't markets funny? Look at this thing grinding up out of sight. We closed early because I really felt like it was going to tip over. We had kind of this consolidation area right here, and then boom, it continued to grind and grow. That's what I love about the Forex market. So this thing goes up, hits the stop loss. I am for sure going to flip the script and go short and catch a backlash. I still think this has got a chance of even right now flipping around, taking a U-turn and coming right back down into this take profit zone, because it doesn't make a lot of sense for this thing to be grinding as hard as it is based off of the channel and what we've had today. So either way, if it hits this stop loss, again, we're back in on another double down to clean it back up. If not, perfect. We'll hit this spinner right here and zip back down into the take profit zone. What a weird little channel market it's been the last couple of days, but we've made money today. This will be 3 for 3, hitting the positives. Well, 3 for 3 with 1 double down, but I still count it as a positive because I cleaned it up. Here we are, half a pip out. All this thing needs to do is just get a little bit of a grind, and there we go. Picked up another positive trade on the day. Market is definitely swinging up and down. I think the position now would be to go long. It's 9 o'clock. I think we got one more in us. I think so. Let's go ahead and pick up one more contract. See if we can't get one more out of the day. Volume is starting to slow down just a little bit, but I still think there's one more in there. So there we are. Here will be our take profit. Stop loss is well below. It really could go there. I don't know. This thing's kind of all over the place, but I got a feeling it's just going to bounce back up and roll. So let's keep our eye on the prize. This thing took a nice little pop right here at the bottom. It actually mirrored the one before. Now it's cycling back up. And here's our channel. It just is what it is. You could just see that happening from the beginning. So another 4 or 5 pips. This thing closes out and we snag number 4 for the day. I think it's got a pretty good chance. All right, this thing's 8.2 pips in the money. It looks like it's gonna rifle up. I think it's gonna hit it. It seems like it's got a nice push. Our volume on the last candle was like really good. 334, look at that, 334. And then this candle, 672, 334. The bottom candle, 1,000. Haven't seen that in a while. So big push on volume down here. So this guy's kind of petering out. I don't know, petering out. He's just getting set up. He'd probably bob around, but I still think we're probably going to move our 4 or 5 pips and get this one cleaned up for our 4th trade for the day. Anyway, moving that stop loss, tighten it up just a little bit so you can avoid you know, taking a big hit. But if it gets up 8 or 9 pips in the money and you're there and it's not there, you might as well move that into a 0, like I say, to avoid the next double down. But if it's bouncing around the 0 mark, you gotta have that breathing room or you'll just get stopped out every time. It really works that way. So we'll see if this one comes down, bottoms out around this guy, and then continues up. 917.47. All right, it's just sitting at literally at 7.2 pips. It's not moving. That means that's an indication there's not a lot going on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this contract. We're gonna close this thing. Are you sure you want to close? Yes. Let it clean out. It's still a profit. It's not a full 10 pips. It was 7.8 pips, I think, when it finally closed, but we're out, we're cleaned up. Even if this thing moves up, I still think the volume is now down to where it's not worthwhile to keep the party going, and we're gonna call it a 4 pip day, or a four positive trades. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4 positive trades come up as a win, and I'm gonna call that a day. Thanks for watching, and see ya.